This month's boss is Warspite, the incarnation of Sagittarius. To sum up the fight, you need a battleship or torpedoes to break her charging ability, and carriers to clear her shelling ability. Warspite's abilities are 12 seconds after the battle starts, and every 20 seconds after that, she starts a charging attack. And if you don't deal enough damage in time, she inflicts darkness, and your main fleet takes way more damage from her second ability, so you definitely want to interrupt this ability. Her second ability fires a salvo at the ship in your main fleet that most recently launched an airstrike or calibration. For my fleet, I went with Hakuryu with 2 torpedo bombers as they deal the most damage to heavy armored targets, like Warspite. Kearsarge is perfect here because she has an airstrike, a battleship salvo, and an air raid assistance skill. You could use Shinano instead, but I went with Implaceable for her freeze skill, which pairs very well with Hakuryu. For my Vanguard, I focused on maximum damage, as her attacks aren't too crazy and a lighter Vanguard like this can tank her attacks. Unzen does everything well. She has powerful main guns, torpedoes, and she's decently tanky. Shimakaze for her insane torpedo damage, of course. You can use the Royal Navy Gear Lab torpedoes instead, because Warspite stays still a lot. Finally, Plymouth. Her damage is decent, but I chose her mostly because she synergizes well with Kearsarge. Subs aren't that useful, as usual, but I think a solo U-47 might be a great choice here instead. Meowficers provide small buffs too. I basically explained everything, but for her ability 12 seconds after the battle starts, you might want to save torpedoes to break it, unless you have a battleship salvo that is early enough. And submarines can also help out with destroying this charge. Now for the tricky part. You need to use your airstrikes to clear the screen of the shell she launches every 20 seconds, so make sure to save your airstrikes for that. Clearing shells takes a bit of skill, and even I could do it, kind of. Since Kearsarge's attacks hit the most often, she took most of the shells, but Hakuryu took a critical salvo. Even though I missed clearing a lot of shells, I managed to pull through in the end, and I beat Warspite in 5 minutes and 21 seconds. I was really surprised that the damage was pretty balanced between both the main and Vanguard fleets. I have no clue why U-556 Meta did so little damage though. The battle basically requires this specifically, but you can substitute Plymouth for Kazagumo and Kearsarge for another battleship, or carrier if you have torpedoes saved to break her charging ability. You can also use a healer if you need to, but make sure that they can heal your main fleet. For example, only Unicorn's first airstrike heals your main fleet. Besides that, you just need one tank, and you should focus on ships that deal damage to heavy armored targets, or deal high damage to heavy armored targets. And of course, Helena's radar scan is always an option, but I always prefer to try battles without her first and see my results. Anyways, thank you for watching. I always appreciate it. If you need help, I will always gladly respond to comments. And thank you to my channel members as well. This is going to be Enzo from LookIntoGaming, signing out.